So you're at the pub, right? You're at the bar, and you're eyeing up a nice lady or gentleman down the bar ways over there, and you're like, well, how about? And when I get my money out, right, of my rat pencil case, because I brought it to do my makeup as well, because I can sharpen my eye pencil in its arsehole. How about I go up to them and be like, yeah, I love, you know what I mean? Do you want to see my wing piece? And you whip it out, mate. Whip out your little wing piece. You got this little duckling wing in a jar. And then they're like, it's very nice, that. Can I touch it? They're like, oh, aren't you cheeky? Go on then. And then you scurry off to the bathroom with them and that, you know, and show them your other bits of collectibles. I'm doing a little bargain, right? I might post a video to here as well, but I probably won't, because you've probably already seen it on Facebook. Don't want to give you the same video in it realistically. But, right, I'm going to get the show name up for my podcast. See, it's called World Around You's Podcast. You see it there, infinite times on the screen. If you go and give that a listen, right, listen to let the most recent 10 shows play, let's say. I've got the stats saved on my phone, and if by just before the 1st of August, right, if it gets to 1,000 listens on half the shows, then I'll do a massive discount on here, mate. It'll be a little bit cheaper, well, a fair bit cheaper for the month for resubscribing and for new subscribers. So we work together. You scratch my back, I scratch yours, you know, and we'll see if we can work together, you know, to get this a bit cheaper, and I don't get in trouble with my advertisers, because I've been told off twice now. One of the times is a good telling off for getting more listeners than what I should have done. The other one, I got less listeners than what I should have done, and they really weren't happy, which is fair enough, you know. They're giving me $3. They don't want to lose out on the potential, you know, $2 worth of whatever. But still, it would be helpful to me, so I thought I'd offer it to use. I've offered it on Facebook and everywhere else as well. So maybe it might bring more people to here as well, I don't know. But, you know, play the shows, play them on Spotify, Apple, things like that. World Around You's podcast. And see what happens, you know. See if we hit it. Or, you know, maybe even if we just get quite close to it, maybe I'll be generous and do it for a couple of weeks or something. But I'll see you in a bit. Don't threaten me with a good time. This is one of my rat pencil cases. I'll be making more very soon. I've got a couple more on the line over there that you can see dangling down. But for now, just this fella. He's sold, but there's loads more stuff on my website. There's pencil sharpeners in the bumholes as well. This opens, but it's hard to do one-handed, and you can store things in there. What do you reckon? You alright? A little bit of a deal. A little bit of you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours kind of thing, right? So, how about a bit of a deal, right? If by the 1st of August, the podcast on the recent posts on Facebook that you can see the chart for, and if I can get them on stories on here, I will do as well. So go to Spotify and find my podcast, World Around You's Podcast, and if the plays, the amount of listens for let's say the last 10 or however many's in that list that I've posted, when over at least half of them, so half of them get 1,000 total listens before the 1st of August, or before the 1st of August, I'll do a big discount on the OF, you know, the Only Friends, and so in case it's able to read my lips, if that's how it's doing it, because I don't think it can do it from the accent, so maybe it's from reading my lips. So on the Only Friends, there you go, a little bit of a blur there for you. Right, go to there, to the podcast, and if that gets to 1,000 listens for half of them, by the 1st of August, I'll do a massive discount on it for the whole of August for resubscribers and new subscribers. How's that? It helps me because I'm getting told off by my advertisers because I'm not hitting the 300 listener benchmark that I told them I could. Because when I did get the adverts first put on, I was getting about 800 listeners a month, like, as an average to each new episode. And then I took a break, then got the adverts and was like, oh fucking hell, I'll do a new one. And then because there's such a big break, people stop listening. But if you can, go and listen to them, and I'll put a discount on. It helps you, it helps me. You know, it's good for everyone, isn't it? Plus, you might enjoy the shows as well, you might like them. Also, the shirts, the Get Your Rat Out shirts are on my website, and the trackies are as well. You can also find little discount codes on my Patreon as well for canvases. Canvases like this one, like the Marge Rat. And if you join the Patreon, you can get the new shirt, which is the Loveland Frogman from Ohio with his cock out. Yeah, there he is. Look at him. You can get a discount for that if you join the Patreon as well. Otherwise, it's 25 quid off my website, worldaroundyou.com. But yeah, what do you reckon? Fucking, please go and do it. It helps me. You might like the show. Plus, it helps to get the show up the charts again as well. And then it will start reaching the people that used to listen to it. I'll see you in a bit. Used to be a big thing, didn't it, wearing Hawaiian shirts and like fancy chains and necklaces and that to really show off. I thought we could bring that back in. I started wearing these shirts because it's cool around the studio. And then what about a bit of this meat? Look at that meat, bit of necklace there made out of duckling and rat meat. What do you reckon? Should I make more? Are you interested in them? Or what do you reckon? I really like making stuff out of ducklings, mate. This is made out of a duckling and its eye stalks are made out of its legs. Because what I did with its feet was I popped its feet on a canvas. Different little canvases, as you can see there. On my website, mate, worldaroundyou.com, there's a link on my page. You can get these as well. It's a fox with a cig in its mouth and a safety helmet on. Go and have a look. I've made a new amalgamation. So we've got a duckling's head, his brother's head, and I've attached that to a rat's tail and made him some little wings out of a different duck's feet. What do you reckon? It'll be on my website, worldaroundyou.com. Look at that crystal, mate. It's called citrine. It's pretty nice, isn't it? I think it's on the website. If not, there's loads of others on the website. And what do you reckon? It's the new way to dress. So you've got your, you've got your hair done up where you can put it down. You've got the Cthulhu shirt on underneath a little fancy shirt. You've got the joggers on. You know, not my branded joggers, but you wear them with joggers. And you wear them with a pair of trainers and that. No one's dressing like this, mate. Get yourself ahead of the curve, you know. Worldaroundyou.com if you want the shirt or some crystals. This is a pencil case I've made out of a rat. So there's its real ears there. And then you could hear its claws tapping on the side. You can see him moving around. He's got a zipper down his spine, which is perfect for keeping one of your duckling wings in. I sell these on my website. These are called a wing piece. But if you want as well, speaking of wing piece, if you need to, you can sharpen your pencil in the rat's ring piece. Shavings fall out onto the table, or in this case the freezer below, and you're never going to lose your pencil sharpener again. 'Cause imagine how hard it is to actually lose this compared to a pencil sharpener, mate. Worldaroundyou.com. There's these, there's other things. See you in a bit. You think I'm sad because I make stuff out of rats? It makes me happy, me, you know. Boy, this is probably the happiest I've been for a while. I don't live with my mum and dad. I don't own an Xbox. And look, like, how can you not like that, mate? That's Marge Simpson made out of a rat, mate, on a tee. This is one of my rat bags, the rat pack, the rat man bag, the rat pencil case, the rat pencil pouch. But today there's not a pencil in there. Today I'm thinking, you know, when you're a bit nervous and you're out in public, right, and you don't want to be out in public stroking a dead rat to comfort yourself and make yourself feel calmer, right? What you could do is discreetly open the zip, right? And then you whip out your insanity mirror, mate. And then you can open it and stroke a little bit of dead duckling inside there, and no one's none the wiser, obviously, unless they've been to worldaroundyou.com themselves and know that these exist. But it has got a little mirror on there as well, so you can just pretend, you know, you're checking your teeth like that. Like, my teeth are fine, and then just look around, go and hide behind the bins or something, squat down and have a quick rub, you know, just rub the stress away and then come back to life as if, you know, you're fine and there wasn't an issue in the first place. Look at that, mate, it's a little necklace with a spider inside it. Some fucking hanging looking spider. Hairy danglers come in all different shapes and sizes, so this one here is made out of mouse skin with rat ears and a fake tooth. This one's made from a bit of goat and a fake tooth. This one's made from rat skin and rat tail, mate. So they're all different, they're all on worldaroundyou.com. But it affects you though, innit? We don't want you knowing. You know, we can't have you knowing. If you find out, then what, you know. But if you watch the one before this, the men get left out as well. There's one that only women own up. So my podcast at the minute sponsored by HelloFresh. So if you want a little discount code for that, 50% off your first box and that, go and listen to my podcast, the World Around You's podcast. There's a link on my page. This is one of my dinosaur arses, more specifically a tyrannosaur arse, because this is a duckling bum. But if you prefer your duckling bums without the plastic dinosaur, then maybe you'd prefer these, mate, which are my magnetic duck arses, which you can pop on your fridge. Look, pop them on your freezer. You can see quite a bunch of things made out of ducklings here. You've got these duckling skin key rings. You've got this, which is an amalgamation. Another amalgamation here, rat, mouse, rat, duckling. This is duckling, rat, duckling, stag beetle of some sort. But this is a free meal, mate. And I call it a free meal because somebody else has took the bill. Don't threaten me with a good time. This is one of my rat pencil cases. I'll be making more very soon. I've got a couple more on the line over there that you can see dangling down. But for now, just this fella. He's sold, but there's loads more stuff on my website. There's pencil sharpeners in the bumholes as well. This opens, but it's hard to do one-handed, and you can store things in there. What do you reckon? Let's have this week's Here's How. And this week, here's how to help a loved one grieve. Practice the voice of a dead person so that you can comfort the grieving person with spot-on impersonations of their relative. Save it for a big event, you know, for example, like a wedding or a funeral of another relative, where you can then start to maybe consider doing another voice later on in life. If you're lucky enough to give a speech at the wedding, make sure to do a well-rehearsed impression then. It's bound to get the tears streaming and make the day memorable for everybody there. Go through your loved one's mementos, find something with that relative's name on, and or their writing, you know, and then hide it around the house so that they can find it and think it's a message from beyond the grave. Encourage them to start drinking or partaking in other activities with you. Then, whilst they're in a susceptible state, teach them about the underworld, the netherworld, hell, you know, whatever it is you call it. Then explain how unlikely any of it is, and that there's no reason to think about the dead person because there's very little they can now do for them. So the best thing they can do is put them out of their mind and get on with their lives in their honour. What good does it do to mourn someone for the rest of your life? That just makes your life a weird and depressing extension of their life. Start a local tournament and name it after their dead loved one. It doesn't matter what sort of tournament or competition or league table it is. What matters is that person is now forever immortalised. But what you'll want to do is publicise your new event. So I'd suggest a little sex scandal of some description. That way, their loved one's name will be on the tip of everybody's tongue. Explain to them that the belief that everybody dies and then returns back to the universe to go on to become stars. Then explain that a lot of the stars that we see from Earth are already dead and burnt out. So this isn't the first time that person's died. So they're going to be alright in the long run. And just like the stars, we can still see them and feel the effects of these dead people in our lives. List everyone that you're aware of that's died. Old neighbours, pets, distant relatives, probably not the pets you use in your security passwords though, eh? Whoever you can think of though, you know, it's important to give that grieving person the feeling that they're not alone. If they've buried the relative, inform them that there's now a possibility that in a few hundred years their remains might actually be in a museum somewhere or on an oddities collector's shelf like Robert Badella's fucking basement kind of thing, preserved and potentially a member of a new and loving family, possibly more loving family. Because they still want them. You don't want them anymore, do you? Because they're dead, but they want them because they're dead. You just fucking threw them in the ground. That you know. Explain that there is in fact no difference between incineration and cremation, other than the emotive weight behind saying me nan got incinerated on Wednesday being a lot more powerful than we cremated me nan at weekend. Then keep having little bonfires in the garden, calling them our little cremations. A nice little way to be able to take the power from the situation of them having the thing that upset them a few weeks ago. Tell them that in 2017, 77% of dead people were cremated, meaning, right, that at least one of the 2,111,510 people, right, must have been accidentally inhaled or ingested by someone. So there's always a chance that the loved one is just in someone else's life now, just ignoring you. If you used to drink with the dead guy, tell the surviving person that the dead one once said they hated the survivor when they were pissed. So it's really not worth giving them much more of your time because, you know, they won't be giving you any more of theirs. And that's the end of this week's Here's How. Now, if you like that, right, if you thought that was good or you want to hear another, let's say, 610 life hacks for 61 different topics, there's a link on my page that will get you to my podcast. That's half of the style of one of my podcasts, World Around You's podcast. I keep staring at the screen and it's hard not to make eye contact with yourself when you're doing these. But really, I want to stare at the camera. But I wrote and recorded a lot of these over the past 2 years, so I can't remember them. That's why my eyes are darting around like that, trying to read it. But yeah, what did you think? You know, if you enjoyed it, World Around You's podcast. I thought it might be a nice idea to see how many different bits of animals we can put inside of this rat. So here, I'm going to use hairy danglers this time. This one's a hairy dangler made out of rat and a bit of duckling with a fake tooth. There you are, he's in there. This one is made out of a bit of rat with a chicken's beak and some duckling feathers. She's in there. This one here is a bit of chicken beak, a full chicken beak, baby chicken, hamster and a bit of duckling. They're in there. This one's made out of some type of goat. They've got some goat eyes from a county show and a fake tooth. They're in there. They're there. This one here is a bit of duckling and a chicken's beak. Shove him in. You're getting quite a lot in there. It's mad how much you can fit in. This is the back end of a mouse without its tail. But it looks like a little bug's head, doesn't it? There its feet. I might actually be able to see it's the front without its head. Looking at the feet. This one here is a rat with a rat's tail and a fake tooth. These are a tenner each on my website. Maybe I'm going to make something new with them soon. And look at that, mate. They fit right inside of this rat pencil case. But if you did want to use it as a pencil case, it does have a sharpener up its arse as well if you don't want to use it to store your other taxidermy in. And I learnt today that a collection of taxidermy is called a cage. I've just made a rat into a pencil case. It's got a zipper down its spine and there's a pencil sharpener up its jacksy there. There's other stuff on the website as well, like this magnet of my dad's toes and different things made out of various amounts of duckling, like that amalgamate. This is a rat pencil case that I made. I make them quite regularly. It'll be on my website now. Might be gone by the time you're seeing this. I make other stuff as well, like these bobblehead ducklings and the Hunter Birdman and sell these canvases, and that's a naked neck duckling made out of a duckling, a rat and some mouse. But these are fully usable. I quite like to do something that's got a use every now and then. So it's got a zipper down the spine, so it's lined on the inside. The zips change with each rat. Maybe the rat might not be white as well, might be brown, might be black, might have spots, might not. But then I've got a pencil sharpener in its arse, and all the shavings fall out the bottom here. Which is a concern that people have. People are like, oh, where did the shavings go? Well, they just drop out onto the desk, mate. You can move the legs as well, you know, just didn't even, if you wanted to, have him wave to you. Well, what do you reckon? Useful, isn't it?